Lawyers for the man accused in the fire investigators say led to the Palisades Fire filed a new motion asking a judge to throw out the evidence in the case.
And CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. Mike, you have been going through this nearly 100-page motion filed by the defense.
Yeah, and you know, Pat, one tonight it talks about how the investigators in the case, they allege improperly obtained the search warrant, which allowed them to gain that evidence that now the defense says should be thrown out. This is Jonathan Rinderknecht. Rinderknecht obviously accused of starting the Lackman fire on New Year's Day, January 2025, that prosecutors say then led to the deadly Palisades fire. Now, in court filings today, the defense attorneys argue that the detectives never made their reasonable suspicions when they asked for these search warrants, and basically say everything else that came behind it was fruit of the poisonous tree. I want to show you some of the court filings here saying that, quote, the entirety of the application of the search warrant fails to reference one single argument that the Lackman fire was due to arson, but instead was caused by fireworks. The other portion of this court document goes on to say that it did not include one single particularized fact linking the defendant to criminal activity, i.e. arson, or even establish a nexus between the items to be searched and evidence of the crime of arson. They say because of those facts, because the initial search warrants were based solely on the defendant's mere presence at the location of the Lackman fire, without one single shred of additional incriminating fact, it lacked probable cause and unquestionably violated the defendant's Fourth Amendment rights. Now, what the defense attorneys hammered on hard in these documents is basically saying that the only evidence that the government had in this case was that their defendant was merely in the area. They say federal law prohibits that from being used as probable cause, saying that just because our client was merely in the area does not mean he definitively has started this fire. So they're asking this judge to squash or suppress rather the evidence in this case through this motion. What's also interesting is immediately after filing this motion, the defense filed a second motion asking to withdraw that motion to suppress because they intended it to file it under seal, but didn't, which made it open to the public, which is how we were able to get a copy of it today.
Yep, and now we know. Mike, thank you.